are operating in increasingly sophisticated ways. But in policing, in all honesty, our response is mixed. While some forces surge ahead with the results to show for it, others are fighting crime in a digital age with analog methods. We will ensure that every force is adopting the latest technology led out of the new National Police Service. This will include the largest ever rollout of live facial recognition technologies across England and Wales. We know this approach works. In London, in just 2 years, the Metropolitan Police have made 1,700 arrests, taking robbers, domestic abusers, and rapists off our streets. When the future arrives, there are always doubters. 100 years ago, fingerprinting was decried as curtailing our civil liberties, but today we could not imagine policing without it. I have no doubt the same will prove true of facial recognition technology in the years to come.
All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth that risketh on lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Akwath listening, learning, and sincerity, and in truth and in silence, Shalom. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp, here in Toronto, here with another lesson. Right? And we'll get right into it. Right? This devil being the deceiver, he's in his role, he's in his lot, he's playing his role. Right? Scriptures say when they shall say peace and safety. Right? So the spin they're putting on this, all roads lead to the MOTB. Right? UK government announces its largest rollout of AI and facial recognition technology. This is from the People's Voice. Right? All roads lead to the MOTB. And they're guising it in the guise of they're presenting it in the guise of safety. Right? Let's get that real quick. That's in 1 Thessalonians 5. First Thessalonians 5 and 3, and it reads, for when they shall say peace and safety, right? And that's what this Edomite, this diabolical madman, right? Listen, the UK is one of the seven heads, right? She's one of the seven heads. As a matter of fact, let's go there first. I'm going to hold this because this is what came to mind. Revelation 13 and 1. And it reads, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast. This is a vision of John the Revelator. Rise up out of the sea. Right? The beast is NATO and the EU. Right? America, NATO, the EU. Having 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? The 7 rulerships of Esau. Right? And upon his horns 10 crowns. Right? The 7 rulerships of Esau. Germaner Minor, Germaner Major. The French, the British, the Spanish, the Greeks, and the Romans. Okay? The 10 crowns. Later becoming the EEC, the European Economic Committee. Later becoming the EU, the European Union. Right? You had the Visigoths. You had the Franks. You had the Vandals, right? The common markets. These all later became the EEC, and then later becoming the EU. Right? America the Great, NATO the EU, the beast. And upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. The leopard is the British. Salakia. The leopard is the Greek. Salakia. The lion is the British. The leopard is the Greeks, the beginning of Edomite supremacy, right? Beginning with Alexander the Creep. And his feet were as the feet of a bear, right? And the bear, which is not one of the seven heads of the seven heads and this and the 10 crowns, but is the feet being the end, the feet being the end of the beast, America the Great, NATO, the EU, and the bear being the Russians. The Russians are going to be instrumental in the takedown of the beast, that being the feet, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, the British. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and his great authority, right? The dragon, right? Rome 2.0, Esau, Edom, right? Beginning with his ruling class elites, right? America the Great, Babylon the Great, NATO, the EU is in the power seat. America being the muscle, right? But they're in the power seat. And they have great authority. The whole world, listen, when they roll out the MOTB, because all roads lead to the MOTB. This thing here, what you see playing out in the UK, it's going to go worldwide. Right? All the world bows to the beast. We saw it play out with the CHIP. Every nation had their own separate rollout, but it was all with one accord, right? The elites rule the world, man. They pull the puppet strings. And they have puppets and politicians as the face, but the elites rule the world, man. And what is their agenda? The NWO, New World Order, the MOTB, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. Right, all roads lead to the MOTB. This is gonna play out. This is beautiful, right? And what's the catalyst going to be in America? America is going to continue to be a powder keg, right? Boiling over with civil unrest. Right? And they're going to look and say, look, what we just rolled out in the UK needs to be implemented over there to stop that bloodshed and that violence. Oh, by the way, take this CHIP. That's how it's going to play out. Back in Revelation 13 and 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. The Roman Empire. The fall of the Roman Empire. The fall of the Western Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire coming into power, who were the Byzantines, who were Jakes, right? The Dark Ages, right? Wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. The Renaissance is coming, is rebirth. It's coming back into power, and all the world wondered after the beast, right? The whole world is going to be on board. The whole world, listen. It said here up in verse 2, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, right? The whole world going to be on board, despite of how it looks. It's an NWO agenda, man. Right? Back into peace and safety. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, right? And that's the narrative right now. Oh, this is going to make things safe. What did the woman say? 1,700 arrests were made. People going to gobble that up. Oh, it's going to make things safer and peaceful. And it reads, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, right? Ultimately going into the missiles, right? But the mandate of the micro CHIP, the worldwide mandate of the grain of rice, right? 2/3 of our people are gonna co-sign with the beast. They're gonna believe in the peace and safety narrative. The peace and safety. They're gonna believe in that. Right? Just like when the serpent pits rolled out. Right, 6 feet apart. Wear your masks. Don't have family members come over to your house if they're not serpent pissed, if they haven't drank the dragon juice. Right? Families fell apart. Families are divided to this day because of that. Right? It says here, sudden destruction. Right? Like labor pains. Right, but scripture say, never trust thine enemy. Back in Revelation 13, verse 4. And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him? Right, and once again, this is one of the 7 heads. Right, the UK is one of the 7 heads. Right, the UK is the financial backing, the 3 unclean spirits like frogs. The UK being one of them. The UK being the financial backing. America the Great, Washington. London being the financial backing. Washington, America being the military might. Rome, the Vatican being the religion, the false prophet. And they're all in one accord. Sirach 12 and 10, and it reads, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right, this diabolical madman's a wicked man. Right, and the biblical Israelites, Israel being a people before it's a place, right, the chief enemy is Esau Edom. We can't trust this. Listen, this diabolical madman, his war is against the tribes. Ultimately, he wants the men of the Lord, the prophets, but he's got to wield his sword on all of Israel, because he doesn't know who he doesn't know who the 144 is. So he's got to wield his sword on all of Israel. Right? This is a spiritual war. Jacob and Esau being the main actors. Right? And whatever other nations get caught up in Esau swinging that sword, right? That's collateral damage, including his own people. That's collateral damage. Verse 11, though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. You can't trust this diabolical madman, yo. Right? Scripture says, the devil cometh down having great wrath, for he knoweth he hath but a short time. That's why he's moving. We haven't even gotten out of January yet. Sirach 12. Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? Right? You 2/3 that line up with the beasts, line up for the sea of the chipping station when it comes. Right, that you 2/3 Jakes that are in love, the allure of the beast. You wondered after the beast. You marveled. When you're bitten, who gonna pity you? You think the men of the Lord ain't gonna look and say, "Damn man, you should come over here. We'll put a band-aid on that, man." Now you know. Come over here. No. You co-sign with the beast. You go down with the beast. Verse 14, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. Here's a point. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, right? Safety, safety, safety. 1,700 arrests. This is going to make everything safe, right, over there in the UK. And look at the volatility right now in Babylon the Great, America the Great. Perfect catalyst for a rollout like this. Right, look what's going on in Minnesota right now. It's wilding. Right, all the world is a stage. A lot of agitators are loose, and actors, right, to help forward in the NWO agenda. But in his heart, right, speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart being mine, he imagines how to throw thee into a pit. Right? Scriptures say they accomplish a diligent search. They're always brewing and thinking. Let me get that real quick. How to get more wicked. How can we take out Jacob? Micah 2 and 1. And it reads, NLT, what sorrow awaits you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans? You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out simply because you have the power to do so, right? The Lord put you in the power seat. Esau, Edom, the wicked, according to scripture, right? And you can't rest. You're always thinking of how can I destroy Jacob? It says here, Sirach 12:16, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, his mind, he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, right? He'll play the dumb card. He'll play the pity card. Oh, I'm so sorry. How can I help you? This is really unfortunate. He'll even go as far as marching for you and having televised candlelight vigils and giving you a right to protest, but he don't give two fucks. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood, right? He's a bloody man, right? A perpetual hatred for Jacob, who is Israel. Israel being a people before it's a place, right? But yeah, that's it on that. I didn't want to go too long. I pray you had